Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to be looking at one of my subscribers' tracks that they sent me. I liked it a lot and I just thought it'd be fun to remix it. So I'm going to show you their track. I'm going to play it all the way through and then I'm going to show you my track of what I did when they sent me the FLP. And then we're going to go through how I changed it. I'm going to go through their FLP and give them some tips as well. They have a very good ear for music, very good ear for melodies and stuff. But I can tell that obviously like they haven't been making music for like probably 10 years or something crazy, but they're off to a great start. So I just wanted to commend you. Good job, dude. I'm gonna shout them out down below as well in the description. You can check out their video and YouTube channel and their music as well. And yeah, and before we get into it, just want to say again, very sad. Not a single person has bought my sample pack. It's okay, I understand, but it's not too late. The website does cost money to keep up, so if you guys do want to me to keep making YouTube videos, keep making sample packs, keep making updates to all that, I would greatly appreciate. You could be that person that keep me going. So yeah, got that. And of course, once you buy it, you always get all the samples I add in the future to it for completely free. So it's a never-ending sample pack. Pretty cool. Okay, so without further ado, let's listen to what this guy did and see what we got here. So, oh, one last thing before we hit play. Join the Discord server. We're going to be doing fun challenges with my subscribers, and I want you guys to be part of that. It'll be a lot of fun. I have a lot of stuff planned. So if you're interested in that, please join. All right, now let's hit play for real. I think it repeats here, so I'm gonna skip a little ahead. I love this. I love this. This is very cool. It's very chill. I like the vibes here. A few interesting things I just want to note off right off the bat. So you see he's working in 63 BPM. This is exactly the same as 126. I just thought it was cool that he was in 63 because like that is a house BPM, but it's in halftime. So if you look at his drums, he has to put his drums like over and over and over again. But at like 126, you'd put your drum like kind of like this, and this rather than every two. It makes zero difference. 126, 63, it makes no difference. I just thought it was interesting because most people I know do it at 126, but pretty cool. Anyways, so what we got here, I love his arrangement. His arrangement is very good for somebody starting out. You got just look at it here. Every single like 4 bars, he's adding something, he's taking away things. He has a good sense of okay, I don't want to keep it boring here, so I got to add something or take something away. He understands arrangement. This is fantastic for somebody. Excuse me. I don't know how long he's been making music, but it's clear that he definitely knows a lot about what he's doing here in terms of arrangement. So that's fantastic. One thing I noticed is that I'm trying to think here. So he doesn't use very many loops and he's using all standard FL Studio samples. So I am going to give him my sample pack free. So he has some more samples for sure because he's just using standard FL Studio samples, which there's nothing wrong with that, but definitely some room there. I would recommend he get some free sample packs and just kind of bolsters his library to work with. That'll greatly improve his ability to kind of make things that, like have their own unique sound. So yeah. Let's see here. So I love, there's a couple things about his melody I love, and then there's one thing that I'm not a fan of, but I'll show you. It's very simple, and I changed it in my version. It's this little end part right here. This dun dun dun. So I'd say that's a little bit confusing. Reason being is because if you've seen my beginner's course, what I talk about is how you should keep the rhythm for your melodies consistent. That way the listener has an easier time following. So this doesn't always have to be followed, but I say in this case it would help. So right here we have excuse my singing voice, and then right here we have this. So you see he adds an extra 2 notes here. Okay, so those like 2 notes, I think they're just a little bit too fast and a little bit too far apart. When I say too far apart, I mean too far apart in pitch and too far apart in and too close together in rhythm. So that was the only thing that I had bad to say about this track. Literally everything else was gold. Obviously, with stacking a bunch of instruments like this, there's probably room to get a little bit of the low end out, just make it a little bit cleaner overall. But again, I'm not going to be super critical because he's doing a good job. I'd say, yeah, you can see he's using EQs here. I haven't looked at his mixer, so this is interesting. So I like that he's removing the lows. If you want to remove all the lows though, you can go to type and you can go to high pass. So like that, you can just go cut all of them out. So you don't need to keep a little bit in there. Maybe he wants to, that's fine. I do this with all my tracks. I just cut all of it out. I think it helps with the mix because let's say we leave a little bit in like this or whatever he had, and it was kind of like that. If we leave that in across all the tracks, that's going to be a lot of low end. So if you cut all of it out, then it's going to be none across all, and it doesn't keep adding across all the tracks. Something to note, just if you're having trouble with the low end. And then with the reverb, looks like he just kind of opened up for the reverb there, and it's cool. He adds it on a few to add more ambience to the tracks. I wonder if that's reverb is going on in the drop, if I can hear that. Yeah, it is. So something he might be able to do is automate the reverb. So the reverb isn't coming in with all of the other instruments at the same time. That could help. His bass, right here, we have. You can hear that the bass and the drum are hitting at the same time. So something that he could work on here is maybe just adding a little bit of sidechain. So I'll do it for him. That way you know what to do here. But right here, what you'll do is you'll just make a little automation for the bass. So let's find. We'll add a fruity balance here. And this fruity balance, we're going to right click it. We're going to click create automation. And I did create automation when I had this selected. So I made just a short little track here. And what we'll do, what we'll do is we'll add just a little bit of, honestly, like even that would be fine. You hear how it like kind of like the volume isn't all the way. So now what I do is I select this one while this is like highlighted. You see how it goes exactly the distance of the kick until the next kick comes in. I select only the automation. I hold B, and it just is going to paste these all across all the kicks. Oh, it looks like. Oh, I know what I did wrong. My bad. Whoops. Embarrassing. Let's reverse that. I had it selected incorrectly. 1 second. Okay, let's zoom over this way and go back to, wait, where did my automation go? What? Oh, I'm looking in the wrong spot. I am blind. I know what I did wrong. So, wow, I'm struggling right now. Okay. See, I didn't have it all the way to the end. Well, there we go. Okay, now it'll work. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. There we go. Click that. Now I can hold Control B and it will go perfectly across all the kicks. There we go. Now, normally that would have been a time saver, but I kind of messed up. But either way, now this is what we have. It might be a little bit aggressive, so I'll just lower it off a little bit, just like this. Kind of just move these like so. Just move it even closer. So he could do this across all the things that are using low end, and that would really help clear up the kick and the clap so that they kind of hit a little bit harder. Because think about it, if you're cutting out the volume just a little bit when the kick and clap are coming in, that's going to leave room for them to go in. So I know stuff might be a little bit basic for some of you, but I just want to share just for the person's track and also for anybody else watching that hasn't been producing for a long time. So obviously this is something pretty basic that's pretty easy to implement, so hopefully that made sense. I do like that he added hip-hop hi-hats here, so they're not open hats, which is really interesting. You can see it's almost like a trap hi-hats, which is really unique. I haven't seen somebody do something like that before. So it's like house drums with a trap hi-hat underlay. So normally what you'd hear like something like this. Let me pull out one of my samples in my sample pack. This isn't the sample pack that you'd buy. This is just the one I've made over the years with my own samples. But like, let's say you'd do something like this. So you'd have a hat on the off. That's kind of something more that you'd expect from a house track. But nonetheless, very cool. So yeah, I don't have too much to say. I mean, it's a great track. It's really simple. It's nice and chill. And the track I made isn't. It is very hype. So let's go over to my track and you can see the difference in what I did. So obviously this is going to be just perspective. There's not a better or worse track. Mine's just different. And yeah, so I'm going to show you what I did with it and maybe we can just see the differences. So, and also, by the way, I asked if I could use his track, so I'm not just like taking his track from him and whatever. Like, we already talked this through, so he knows he's going to be in a video. So I'm going to go and open up the one that I made. I believe it's this one. Let's see. So what I did to make this remix, just to save myself some time and make it easier, is I copied the MIDI from all the tracks that he did, and I implemented his MIDI into another track that I already worked on, and then I just like changed the synths and changed stuff around, so it would just make it easier for me to make something, and that's completely fine to do. So like honestly, when you listen to the song, you can barely tell. I mean, it kind of sounds like me, but it doesn't sound exactly like one of my carbon copy tracks, if that makes sense. So I'll show you what I did here once it loads. Any year now. And you know what, to save you guys the pain, I am going to put the MP3 of what I made in here and then mute the master. That way we don't have to, what's it called? It doesn't lag, because I know I've had that problem. So let's just drag this in here, boom. And for some reason, there's a weird glitch. My chords and melody aren't playing in certain places. I can't figure it out. I tried for a long time. I don't know why it's happening. I checked all my automations. I can't figure it out. So, oh well, that's fine. But I'm gonna play this and we can listen. So this is what I made. Make sure the master's volume is off. All right, let's go. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so that is what I made. I know it's very different. It's a completely different genre, but I thought it'd be fun. So let's just go over what I'm doing. So I kind of took his chords here and I just chopped them up. So I took his chords and chopped them up into this pattern. So we have this. And there's a glitch where it's not playing. I have no idea why it does that. I can't figure it out for life of me, but I love his chords, by the way. His chords are fantastic. They're very moody and cool. So I took his chords and I put that on a bass line. So this is what it sounds like with the bass line. So I have the chords and the bass going. And if you're wondering what's going on with the chords, they're real simple. It's just a vital, and I literally made like just a super saw. So it's a saw wave with 7 voices and 15 unison. And then I have a chorus, which is like barely on a compressor, and I just push the release a little bit and distortion just to kind of like saturate a little bit. That's literally all I'm doing. And if the mixer track on that is also dead simple again, I'm just literally an Ozone Imager. This is another free plugin, and it's just it's adding width to the sound. I'm adding a OTT. Just turn the depth down. That's it. Parametric EQ is just taking out the lows, and that is it again. So that's all. And then, oh, I have a ROM. Okay. This is a free plugin. Okay, how do I say this? It's not free, but I got it for free. So I'm counting this as a free plugin. It's weird. A lot of people have it. So if you got it, cool. If you don't, I think it's like 50 bucks. However, you do not need it. You could use Fruity Reverb. It's just that ROM is my baby, and I've been using it for so long that I can't give it up. So this is just one of the plugins I have that you may not be able to get. However, it's not necessary. Again, it's just a personal preference. So I have ROM here, and all it's doing is just, it's, how do I explain it? It's sort of like, it's not, the reverb isn't tailing, so it's a very short reverb, and it just adds a little roominess to the chords. And the reason I do that is because I don't want the chords fighting for space in the mono with the lead. So if I put reverb on the chords, it actually takes pressure off of the lead, so it allows it to hit harder. And the chords kind of like hold that kind of reverb spacey feel in the background. So that's why I do that. With the bass, let's go to the bass sound design. So this is similar to another bass I have, but I just changed the wavetables. And this is a cool wavetable. I really like this. The bass line is so cool. I love it because it follows like the chords exactly. So again, I have no idea why they don't play, but whatever. So then I have the lead. And another thing that you can do with your leads to make them interesting is adding these bends. So what I do is on my lead, I actually have a setting. It's called legato. So I go and click legato, and then I put the glide up to like 50%, I'd say. Mess around with the slope a little bit, and then put voices to 1. And what this does is it allows us so I can put 2 notes on top of each other, and it will bend to the second note. So you can listen. You can hear like how it changes depending on where I put the notes. So I use this little glide technique to make my notes more interesting and to kind of pitch in between. And then I have the second lead right here, the same legato technique, and I also legato the very end of the note to make it kind of like kind of. And I did not change his melody at all. This is the exact melody he's using. I literally just moved the notes to make it a more rhythm go with the bass line. And last but not least, you'll hear at the end of the melody what I do. And then instead of it does the da 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 da, instead of playing a bunch of notes like that's kind of how his melody was, where it kind of plays some notes at the end, but you don't need to fill every single spot with notes. I think this is something that I used to struggle with when I was starting, is I'd put notes. I kind of feel like I have to fill every empty gap with a note. Like, oh, there has to be a note right there and there and there. You don't have to do that. You can leave an empty space, and that'll add, what is it? Like, you know, like in a movie when not everything's happening every single second, like Avengers or something, like you have that kind of downtime, where stuff isn't happening. It makes the impact bigger. And so you want that same type of feeling with your melodies, where you have that empty gaps to make the full part sound stronger. And so that's why I don't have something going every single second. Anyways, so I actually did something unique on this track where I have the chords following the lead melody instead of the bass. Why did I do that? I don't know. It just sounded better for this track. So just test that out. I usually have the chords matching the bass line rhythm, but in this case I didn't. So this is just something interesting, which is I only did on this track. The drums for sort of brevity. That doesn't even make any sense. I'm just gonna let that go. For sake of time, let's just use that. I use the same drums. Again, I've used the same drums on the last 3 tracks. You call this lazy, and you would be right. I am just incredibly lazy. I can make new drums. I like these, and so I'm using them on the last couple tracks just because it speeds up my production and lets me flow with new ideas faster, so I don't have to spend too much time on elements that most people won't notice. So I did that. So let me think here. I didn't use chords on my last couple tracks, but I thought that it helped kind of fill the gaps. If you want to listen without drums without chords, is what it sounded like. And not bad, but when I add chords, it kind of just fills that like little thing that was missing. I don't know why. It just sounds really good. So, and some I don't do that. Some they don't need chords, and the lead and the bass work perfectly, and others I need to add chords. It's just kind of have to listen and see what is it missing, and I kind of felt like it just needed those chords in this. I really like this build up. It sounds almost like a rave, like kind of older track. So I thought that was cool. And then this ending part, and then just took his ARP that was in his break, and I put it as the closing. So yeah, I didn't change anything with that. Just chucked it in there and called it a day. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I did. Oh yeah, we can talk about the effect track on the lead because it is quite cool. So on this lead, there's nothing crazy going on. Pretty simple. But then this. Now, if you guys are very keen listeners, you might have heard that I put a little bit of Bit Crush on it, and it sounded so cool. So what I did here is, where is it at? I have Crush, one of my favorite free Bit Crushes.
You want some chicken ramen?
Oh, you're the worst. I was recording a video. Now I have to edit this out, and it's going to take longer. If you just didn't come in here, I could have done an entire take without any editing. Now I have to edit this part out. It's so annoying. No, I'm good.
You want chicken ramen?
No, I'm not feeling it. What? No, it's fine. Okay, so anyways, what we got going on here is I have a little bit of Big Crush, 12 dB. Honestly, I'm not even gonna edit that. That was just kind of funny. I don't want chicken ramen. I'm good. Anyways, so where are we at? So I have, there's not too much to add. I mean, if you watch my other videos, you'll see I go over a lot of this stuff. So the only other thing I added Bit Crush, and then on the third, what's it called? The third. Did I delete the melody here? You guys saw that, right? That was completely. What? There's. Okay, there's some like there's a ghost. Oh, I'm the smallest brain. I am literally the smallest brained human. That is why that was doing it. Oh my gosh. Why can't I click things right now? I'm gonna blame it on the new mouse. So I just got a new mouse that weighs like 30 grams lighter, and I swear, like these little minute details when I'm doing this, I like can't click anymore. Like it's so light. Got this pretty cool. I am liking it nicely. Anyways, I am so distracted right now. Where are we? Okay, I had the Big Crush. Oh yeah, and then this lead. This is the last lead that I made. Okay, so right here, all I'm doing is I have a tiny. I just took the same lead and I just changed it to a the envelope is going over the wavetable here, and it's making it change between 3 different square waves. And then I have a sine, because a sine is the closest thing to a whistle, and I'm like, I want more of a whistly sound. So whistly plus Bit Crush plus 8-bit equals cool lead. So that is what I got. I'm gonna add this, and I'm gonna call this pack Exile, and I'm gonna update the pack with all of the new sounds. So yes, very fun. Honestly, not too much happened here. I mean, I basically used a lot of the stuff I've been using in my other tutorials, and then I just changed the leads out, changed the basses out, and then made just his track into my own version. So I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I hope that you learned something today. And shout out to, this is embarrassing. See, I should have gone with my gut because I knew his name was Vibesy. I just didn't say it. So thank you, Vibesy, or Vibesy. Vibesy or Vibesy? I'm not sure. I'm gonna say Vibesy. It sounds cooler. V1B1ZY. Thank you so much for lending me your track to do a remix. It was a lot of fun, and I hope that you have a great day. See you guys later. Peace.